Welcome to American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonati Spine Institute, featuring the internationally acclaimed inventor of the Bonati spine procedures, Alfred Bonati, MD. Now here along with Dr. Bonati, your host, Kimberly Brumell.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for American Medicine Today. I'm Kimberly Brumell. We have our executive producer of AM Tampa Bay, Aaron Jacobson, with us, and our TV and radio senior fellow, Jeff Wagstaff, here.
Good afternoon.
And we have world-renowned orthopedic surgeon sitting over there right now. Welcome to the program, and thank you for being here, sir.
Hey.
A man of many words.
I was just going to say. Every week, we talk to patients from the Bonati Spine Institute, and they talk about their remarkable and miraculous recoveries back to normal life, and sometimes better than they were before. What I can tell you is there are other places out there that try to blur the issue and make you think that laser surgeries are the same. Well, that's a misconception. If somebody tries to tell you that they can cure you completely with a laser, don't believe them. Lasers with the Bonati spine procedures are just one of many tools used to exact the root of the problem and correct it for people all across the world. He's a world-renowned orthopedic surgeon, and over 33 countries come to him globally to receive the Bonati spine procedures. And we succeed where others fail because nearly half our patients come to us after suffering from failed back and neck surgeries at those other facilities. He is the one that paved the way and made it possible for minimally invasive spine surgeries. On that note, on today's show, we will have President of the Brevard County Medical Society and board-certified family practitioner, Dr. Patricia Herodopoulos, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. But she's going to be speaking to us about Amendment 2 and how that tide is turning in, necessarily against legalizing marijuana in the state of Florida. We've had many guests on being proponents for it. Well, she said that tide is turning, and the more people are becoming knowledgeable, that a lot of people are starting to say, no, we're not going to legalize it here. So we'll hear more from her coming up in the program, and then we'll hear about what's new in American medicine today. But up first,
in today's Back to Life segment, we will talk to a patient of the Bonati Spine Institute who went from living a life that was restricted by pain and discomfort through their journey of finding the Bonati Spine Institute and are now living pain-free.
On the line and from Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, I have Nancy Pius on the phone. She had actually written a blurb up on Facebook. If you don't mind, I would like to read it, and then we'll delve into your situation, Nancy. She had posted, I was 25 years old and in a car accident. I spent 4 years listening to doctors tell me that I'd never drive or work again and never have babies. I was in excruciating pain daily with no hope in sight and had just graduated with my master's degree in OT and passed my boards and felt useless. I found out about the Bonati Institute and it changed my life forever. Dr. Bonati and the whole staff are incredible. I was able to go back to work a few short weeks after surgery. I was able to drive again, and now I have 2 beautiful daughters. Everything the doctors back at home told me would never happen. The Bonati Institute gave me my life back. And on that note, thank you for being here, Nancy.
Oh, you're welcome.
So why don't you kind of walk us through your situation? So I take it you were in a very bad car accident. And why don't you kind of walk us through that process?
Okay, I was in a terrible car accident, had multiple injuries after, pain constantly, migraines, horrible neck pain. It radiated down the arms. I lost feeling in my hands. I'd often drop things. Pain down, it would radiate down my leg from the low back. And I pretty much couldn't do anything for myself. And I had just graduated from school, so I felt incredibly aggravated.
Right.
I went through conservative treatment for nearly 4 years, physical, occupational therapy, pool therapy, chiropractic care, Botox, acupuncture, every injection I think possible. And it never gave relief. So my doctors basically had said, this is what it is, this is where you're going to be, we're sorry, there's nothing we can do. Until my physical therapist found the Bonati Spine Institute for me.
So those doctors, Nancy, didn't even tell you that an invasive procedure could help you. They just said that there was no help?
They said there was no help. They didn't feel invasive procedures would help.
Wow.
They didn't feel like there was anything that could be done.
And you were saying then it was another, did you say chiropractor or somebody had referred you to the Bonati Spine Institute?
My physical therapist
Physical, okay.
would do a lot of research for me to try to find some answer or something she can do to help. And she found the Bonati Spine Institute and told me, send the MRIs and see what they can do. What's the worst that they could say is, the worst they could say is they can't help.
Right.
So after I researched a bit, I sent my MRIs down and was actually in Florida not long after that.
And when well, Jeff, you have a question. Go ahead.
Nancy, I have to ask, have you been back to see the doctors since you've been at the Bonati Institute that told you that you had no hope?
I did. I kept the appointment that I had, because they told me actually not to come. So
and how did that conversation go?
When I went back, because when I left them, I couldn't turn my head. I had no range of motion in my neck, or I had very little bending at the waist. And I went into my appointment, and he walked in, and I made sure I was sitting so that I'd have to turn completely to look at him. Mm-hmm. And he walked in, and I turned, and I looked at him, and he said, "What did you do?" And I said, I did what you told me not to do. I did the best thing I could do for my life. And I went down there. And
what was the diagnosis from that doctor prior to you seeing the Bonati Spine Institute?
They actually had told me that I had 12 herniated discs. Ooh. In reality, I did not have a single fully herniated disc.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
How did that make you feel once you were at the Bonati Spine Institute and they told you that you were a candidate? Did that just blow your mind that being such a young lady at 25, then you had 4 years of struggling with that sort of pain, trying to find yourself an answer because they told you there was none. Now you're nearly 30 years old and somebody tells you that there is an answer. How was that kind of life-changing for you at that point? I mean, I know you hadn't had surgery yet, but did it?
It was. It was so nice to actually feel like somebody can help and somebody wanted to do something for me. I wanted to hug, I think, every person in the facility. I was so excited.
And you actually could hug them now.
Oh.
I did hug them before I left.
Nancy, walk us through your experience from the beginning with the Bonati Spine Institute. When you made the initial contact, I don't know if you sent MRIs down or if Dr. Bonati did MRIs. Tell us a little bit about that initial interaction with the Institute.
I sent MRIs down, and I had the phone call back after asking, for details and what I was experiencing, and we spoke about that, and they said the MRIs were very grainy and hard to read, but they really thought that because of what I was describing and the pain I was describing, that they can help. So I said, we set the appointment, flew down to Florida not long after that, and from the moment you walked in the door, you knew it was a place that you wanted to be. So we went in, and Dr. Bonati had the whole week of tests with MRIs and scans and, the tests that they go through to begin with. I can't remember fully which ones. I know I was there for a week prior to the first surgery.
Okay.
Met with the doctors. They examined me, and they all said, we can fix this. So
did you believe them?
It was hard to believe, but it was so nice to hear somebody say they could do something for once.
So you finally felt like there was some light at the end of this dark tunnel.
It was.
From the time that they told you what they could do, was it a matter of days up until your surgery at that point?
I spent a week there prior to my first surgery.
Okay. And then the day of surgery, why don't you kind of explain what that process is like? I'm sure you were a little bit on edge, maybe. How did you feel about the conscious IV sedation, knowing that you would actually be interactive with the doctors?
I was nervous. I was scared. But the doctors were also comforting, and they helped you. They walked you through it. There was not a moment when they were impatient or tried to rush anything. They answered every question I had. Mm-hmm. Even the whole institute, as far as my parents, who were extremely nervous, they were taken care of, too. It's not just the patient that's catered to, it's the whole family. And I was nervous knowing going into it with a conscious sedation. Mm-hmm. But after I got in, the anesthesiologist made me feel so comfortable.
Right.
And through the whole process, being able to interact actually was amazing because I could tell them what I was feeling. And, you know, the pins and needles maybe that you shouldn't feel, then they were able to adjust and fix where they were going and what they were doing. And to be able to watch it on the screen and watch your surgery, mm-hmm. It was unreal for me.
Wow.
Pretty amazing process.
Yeah. Without
Nancy,
a doubt it is.
We want to ask you to hold on for just a minute because if you can hold on through the break, we'd like to learn more from you.
Okay.
And Kimberly, if folks are experiencing pain like Nancy, mm-hmm. how can they reach out and find relief through the Bonati Spine Institute?
Well, they can give them a call at 855-267-0483, or of course, they could look online at bonati.com. If you're in the general area, they can go to 7315 Hudson Avenue in Hudson, Florida. It is right at the corner, a beautiful 11-acre facility. Again, you don't have to suffer in pain. There is a true answer to your problem, and that answer is called the Bonati Spine procedures. Unlike anything else on the market, it will directly target the root of the problem and resolve that for you. They have over 30 years experience and over 94% success. A late 7.5-year survey reflects over 98.75%. You're listening to American Medicine Today on News Radio 970 WFLA. After the break, we're going to hear more from Nancy Pius, a patient, when we return. Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonati created, perfected, and patented the Bonati Spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonati invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati Spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonati succeeds where others fail. The Bonati Spine Institute is proud to announce more than a 94% patient-reported success rate in over 45,000 patent-protected spine surgical procedures. Call us today at 855-267-0483 or visit us at bonati.com.
All my pain is gone. Today I am totally pain-free. Nothing. No after effect.
I'm pain-free, and I have had to take any pain medication.
Today I am pain-free for the first time in over a year, and it is so awesome.
I only wish I'd known about it earlier. Right now, I am completely without pain.
Sitting here in this office right now, pain-free, eager to enjoy the rest of my life.
I am feeling great.
I feel 100% better, like a new person.
Today I feel absolutely fantastic. It's just incredible, the relief I feel right now.
Today I'm completely pain-free.
During the procedure, I literally felt the pain melt away. It was fantastic.
I feel so good.
It took care of my headaches instantly.
It's incredible. It's really incredible.
It gave me my life back.
It's just wonderful.
I feel fantastic.
It is just absolutely amazing.
So I'm hoping to be climbing hills in a few weeks.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonatti created, perfected, and patented the Bonatti spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonatti invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonatti spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonatti succeeds where others fail.